We're holding right before the line gets wider. You salted your raisins, I see, okay. You know, this is what they call bittersweet, okay. Reb Shimon ben Pozi, ki avi posach b'divrei hayomim. Reb Shimon Pozi, when he would begin lecturing on divrei hayomim, his chronicles, Omahochi, this is what he said, Kol dvorecha echodheim. What seems to be different things, basically it's one. Vono yodel lidorshan, and we know how to interpret it, because we apply ourselves, although they seems to be different individuals, but the different individuals are really one and the same person. What's the example? It says in Divrei Hayomim, V'ishto hayudiya, his wife, who was a Jewess, Yudiya, Yolda, she gave birth to Yered, Avi Gedor, Ves Chever, Avi Socho, Ves Yukusiel, Avi Zanoach. So evidently, Ve'elu v'nei Visyo bas Paro. These are the children of Visyo, the daughter of Paro. So it seems to be she gave birth to multiple children. Asher lokach Mered, who was the husband of Visyo bas Paro? Who she was taken by Mered. There's a man by the name of Mered. Amai korlo Yudio. Why is bas Paro referred to as Yudio? Al shum shekafar avodah zara, because she rejected idolatry. Because we said before, why Jews called Yehudi? Because whoever is kofar avodah zara is called Yehudi. The Chsiv, where do we find that she rejected idolatry? The Chsiv vater bas Paro lirchot, when she located Moshe Rabbeinu, right, in the Nile. Well, what was she doing? She went to bathe. She went to immerse herself, to cleanse herself from the idolatry of her father. It was what? It was a conversion. That's what it was. You see, it's unbelievable. You see, the Hashgacha Protis. I mean, Bas Paro, if she would have been a pagan, she would have found a Jewish child, she would have drowned him. She would have turned the basket over, would have ended. But because that's when she went to separate herself from idolatry, that was the moment she noticed the basket. You see, the timing, it's perfect.
Sorry, that's such a basic question, but how did she convert when there were no Jews in the world?
No, it's not that. To monotheism.
Monotheism.
Yeah, Jews weren't Jews either.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. They're calling her Yehudis.
No, the term Yehudi means anybody who rejects idolatry, even if you're a Noahide. She's not Yehudit, Yudia. Okay, we're not Yehudit over here, right? Okay, Yudia. Like Judea and Samaria, Judea.
Right.
Okay? Be a little current, okay? So Mars asks, well, Rabuya Ravise, what do you mean? It says she gave birth to Moshe. We'll say she only raised him. Loma loch. So what do we learn from this? Mars Sanhedrin, Shkola Magadol, Yosem Isom Beso. Person who raises an orphan, male or female, in their home. From here we draw, the Torah values it as if actually what? As if you gave birth to that child. So since Bas Paro raised Moshe Rabbeinu like her own child, therefore it's considered, we see from Divrei Yomim, it's referred to like her own child. Why is Moshe called Yered? Yered zeh Moshe, v'lomish nikra shmo Yered, she yorad lahem liyisrael mon biyomov. Because he brought man down in his day. Right, the Gemara says we have the Gemara in Tainus, right? And whose schus did we have the man? It was b'schus Shel Moshe Rabbeinu. So it was Dutim we had the man. Gedor, why is he called Gedor? Shegoda Pritzusein Shel Yisrael. He sealed the breaches. He sealed the breaches of Klal Yisrael. Chever, what's Chever? Shechiber Yisrael Lavi Yisrael B'Shemaim. He attached Klal Yisrael to the Father in heaven. Socho, what's the word Socho? Shenasan Li Yisrael Kesukkah. A sukkah protects, right? He was like a sukkah to Klal Yisrael. He protected. Yukusiel, what's Kusiel? Shekiv Yisrael lakel biyomov. The Jews, they had faith in God in his day. He brought them to have that level of trust. And Zanoach, what's Zanoach? Shizniach avasein shel Yisrael. He cast off the sins of Klal Yisrael. Avi. It says in the pasuk Avi this, Avi that. What's the father of? Av b'Torah. Av b'chochma, av b'nevius. He's the father of, he's the greatest person who had Torah, the wise Ab b'chochma, and Ab ben Devius. He's the father of all prophets. Veilu b'nei Visyo. Asher Yilokach merit. These are the children of Bisyo, who's taken by merit. Who's merit? Merit Shmo. Mar says merit Shmo, Valu Kolev Shmo. The wife of who married Basparo, Kolev ben Yefuna. Yeah, this Kolev ben Yefuna married Basparo. So his name was Kolev, not married. Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yovu Kolev Shemorad Batzas Meraglim. Let Kolev come because he rebelled against the plottings of the Meraglim. V'yiso as Bisyo Basparo Shemordu Begilu Avio. You got it. It's not simple. You know, Basparo, she was a princess. She can do what she wants. It took a tremendous amount of determination. She was Morda. You know, she was seen like she was going against the grain over there.
Yeah.
She was Morda. I mean, Kolev, you think it was simple what he did? It wasn't simple. But yet he did it. So as he went against the grain, so she also went against the grain. So therefore, there's a compatibility between the two of them. But it's interesting. If Baspar would have saved Moshe Rabbeinu, you understand? There wouldn't have been a Gula. And if Kolev, it says Vayas Kolev Esa'om. Hashem says Kolev, even to a greater degree in Yeshua, he says, I owe it to Kolev. Kolev is referred to Kolev Avdi, my servant Kolev, because originally they thought he was part of them, and then afterwards he silenced them, and he was able to make his declaration to oppose the 10. So it was. So this is the Merida. So what Kolev brought about, he took the stance. Baspar also took the stance. She did something which she made the day. Kolev made the day. Asher Hogla Mirushalayim. It says Mordechai was Hogla. Amar Rava Shegola Miatzim. I mean, Mordechai could have stayed in Yerushalayim. He didn't have to go. He didn't have to be like Yirmiyah. Yirmiyah was not exiled. Yirmiyah chose to go into exile with the Jews. Mordechai was in a position he chose to go into exile with the Jews. Vayomen es Hadassah. Kori lo Hadassah, Kori lo Esther. We find Esther is referred to as Hadassah. Hadassah means a myrtle, correct? Hadassah, Hadass, the female. She's referred to as Hadassah. So what was her name? Was her name Esther? Or was her name Hadassah? Tanya Remeir Ome Esther Shma. Her name was Esther. V'lo Nikra Shma Hadassah. Why is she referred to as Hadassah? Al Shem Hatzadikim Shnikru Hadassim. Because we find Tzadikim are called Hadassim. Chenu Omer, as it says in the pasuk, V'u Omer ben Hadassim. It says the Shechina. Rashi explains the Shechina. Where is the Shechina found? Among Tzadikim. Tzadikim are called Hadassim. They say over there why Tzadikim are called Hadassim. What does he say? Rashi doesn't explain.
Pleasant aroma.
Describes Zechariah's vision in which the divine presence was standing among.
No, among the tzaddik.
Yet the verse states that the divine presence was standing among the myrtle bushes.
Yeah, I understand, but what? I understand, but why are they referred? I mean,
the righteous people are referred to.
Yeah.
The regular verb goes up and down.
Yeah.
But they were,
Could be. This, the famous Chazal. The Chazal say the four species. What does it represent? It represents the four segments of Klal Yisrael. What is the esrog? Esrog has fragrance and it's a fruit. It has food value. That's the person who has Torah and Masim Tovim. The myrtle has fragrance. It has no food value. That's the person who has Masim Tovim without Torah. And then you have the lulav, which is the date, the palm tree. That's the fruit without, there's no fragrance. So that's the person who has Torah, but he doesn't have Masim Tovim. Then you have the arava, the willow, has neither. No fragrance, no, that's the Russia. You bind them together, Yavo Elu v'chabro Elu. So that's the tzaddikim. Tzaddik, you don't have to be a great Torah personality. You do everything right, you're a tzaddik. That's fragrance. So therefore, the tzaddikim are compared to hadassim, based on the chazal. You know, you say, he smells like a rose. He smells like a myrtle. That's what we have to say. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda Omer Hadassah Shmo. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Her name was Hadassah. Esther al Shem Shoysim Asteris Dvoreo. Right, because she concealed her identity. Shenemar, and Esther Magades es Amo. She would not reveal her nationality. You know, it's interesting. It says, So it says, what do you mean she's masteres dvoreho? She concealed her words, right? And what Einesta Magedes is Amo. What is that? It's not her words. She didn't reveal her identity. She kept it concealed. It was the secret. We'll see in a moment. The Gemara says, Achsheish wanted to know in the worst way. That's he said, Atchatzi Amalchus. I'll give you half of my kingdom. Tell me who you are. She wouldn't say. So why is it Masteres Dvoreh? You see something phenomenal from here. I doubt he makes a point on this. So what I think it is, there's a pasuk in Mishlei. It says, a person who speaks excessively, it's inevitable he's going to sin. Because, no, whatever it is, you're going to say something that you shouldn't say. She was Masteres Dvoreh. She was very concise in what she spoke. A person who speaks a lot, it's inevitable somehow you're going to slip. Esther was Masteres Dvoreh. She didn't speak much. Because she didn't speak much, that's why she was able to retain the secret. You know, some people, they can't keep a secret. Why? Because they keep talking. When you talk, it's like somebody, as you say, you talk too much, you'll end up saying something you shouldn't say. That's the way it is. Reb Nechemia Hadassah Shmo. Lomdik Shmo Esther. Why she called Esther? Shohi Umas Olam Koronos Al Shem is Tahir. It's Tahir. Why? Because the nations refer to as what? Like the moon. She shone like the moon. Meaning her features. Right? Elebenis Hadassah. Hadassah is a type of plant, or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, is beininus. It's average. It's not too large, it's not too small. She had a jaundiced look. She was green, she had a jaundiced look. So why was he so enthralled with her? With her beauty? It was a miracle. Hashem caused that she should have a special charm. You know, sometimes you wonder, people, you know, handsome guy marries a woman who's as ugly as sin. They say, what did he see in her? That's exactly what a shidduch is about. You know? That's what Hashem says. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. That's it. So therefore, it was what? It was chut shel chesed. She was yakrokas. Kain lo of ve'im. It says she had no father and she had no mother. Listen to this. Ubemosa via ve'imo. Lomali. I mean, it says she doesn't have father and mother, evidently they died. So what does that have to tell me? And when her father and mother died, it's totally superfluous. What does that teach me? It's like years ago they used to say, you know, bring your father. A child was delinquent, so the principal says, I want you to bring your father in Yiddish. I want you to bring your father, mother, both your parents should come. You know, what else is there? You know, that's the way he used to say it. Omer Avacha, Ibarto, Ibrosa mes Ovio. When her mother became impregnated, her father passed away. Yoladato, when she was born, Masei, her mother died in childbirth. So it's not only she didn't have a father and mother, it was bemos. You understand? She never knew her parents. Umosa vivimo locho morched lo lebas. Tona mishum remei al tikri lebas el lebayis. Ultimately, he married her. It was his niece, and ultimately he married her. Chenu omer u'lerosh ein kol ki kipsa. The story by Uri Achiti, right? David HaMelech sent him to battle, and he was killed. So what? So Nosna Novi came to rebuke him, give him musar. And what did he compare it to? If you have a widow with orphans, and she has one sheep, and with that sheep she supports the family, and somebody comes and takes the sheep and kills it, what does the person deserve? That's the question Nosson Navi asked David. He says, it deserves to be put to death. Said, but that's exactly what you did. You took the man's wife. Even though it was legal what he did, because he was a Mori B'Malchus, but still, that's not the way you do it. It just doesn't have a good taste to it. Asher kono, it says, Im kipsa achas ketano asher kono v'yichyo v'tigdalim of hezbonav yachtov mipito tochal mikosa tishta ubecheko tishkav v'atilo kebas. It says, and the sheep was like a bas. Mishum decheko tishkav havasle the kebas, because she lies in his lap. That's his bas. Ella lebayis means it was his wife. Uri Achiti was his wife. Bathsheba was his wife. Hochanami lebayis. When it says he took her as a bas, means lebayis as a wife. The Sheva Noros, right? It says she had 7 maidservants. You know, when they prepared her, you know, what's his name? What was his name? the one who oversaw the women to prepare them for Achshverosh with baths, and he beautified them with all kinds of cosmetics. It says Veshevan Hanaros. Omar Rav, what she needs 7? She had 7. She requested should have 7 maidens serving her. Shoisamona ben Yemei Shabbos. That's how she calculated which day of the week it was, because she would lose track of time. Haggai, Suris Hanoshim. Haggai, the eunuch of the women, right? Vayishaneho Eves Neraseo. What's Vayishaneh? It's not. Omerav Shechila Machol Yehudi. Haggai, he what? She ate differently than all the others. She ate kosher food. Shmuel Amar Shechila Kalli Chaziro. No, she ate differently. Means to the contrary. She ate pig's knuckles. Yeah, pig's knuckles down in what's that, Fayetteville, right? They ate grits and pig's knuckles. Okay, Rabbi Yochanan Zaronim. How does he explain Zaronim? Seeds. V'cheinu omer v'yihav meltzer nosi espas bagam v'nosilem Zaronim. Okay, Shisha Chadoshim Shem Amor. She actually bathed. She was treated. She had this treatment 6 months in Shem and Amor. What's Shem? Oil for more. My Shem and Amor. Reb Chibar Abba Omar Satchis. Satchis, that's what it is. A certain type of oil. Rashi says Satchis. Where is this? The Gemara says. No, Satchis. No, okay. Rafuna Meshem Zayshlehi Vishlish. Oil that's extracted from the olive that only grows 1/3 of its initial growth. That oil is very pungent and very acidic, and therefore that's good for the skin. We'll see. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Omer Anfakinon. What is Anfakinon? Shemen Zayis Shalohi Vishlish. It's the oil that's extracted from an olive that didn't grow 1/3. V'mama Sochan also. Why do they smear the skin with it? Right? Shemeshis Asar. It actually removes the hair. It's a depilatory. Uma'adinis Abosar. And it causes the skin to have a healthy look, to glow. In the evening, she would come to Achashverosh. What do you think he did with her? He sat and played cards with her. Right? In the morning, she'd come back. This, we find from his detestable behavior, there's something praiseworthy to say about him. When he cabinet, it was only at nighttime. During the daytime, he was busy with other things. He was so worn out. Yeah, but it could have said it the other way, right? In the morning and at night he did some other things. But it's, so in the darkest cloud we find a little silver lining. Years ago I once heard, remember Herschel Levinson? So Shalom say his father, the old time, his father was a Rav. So he told over a story in Bayonne years ago, in the 20s, earlier. They were very Jewish cities, and there was a Jewish mafia. And they used to come to shul, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. They came, and these are the real mafia. So one of them died. So they asked the Rav, the Litvisher Rav, to say hesped for him. So what's the rabbi supposed to say? No, they support the shul, they protect the shul. He can't say no. So he gets up to say hesped, the Litvisher Rav in Yiddish. They understood Yiddish, Lithuanian Yiddish. So he says he was a thief, he was a murderer. He was a victimizer. He had no scruples. So he whispered to the rabbi, there's a eulogy. What are you talking about? In public. He says, Et ga'ata bruder ergo for them. He had a brother that was worse than him. That's the praise. Same thing. Every night he was a sex fiend, the guy. He was an animal. But only at nighttime. During the daytime he bathed himself. That's mitol gnusay lamed shvacho. Okay. That's a Litvisher joke. Okay. Not Flegenheimer. Schultz. Lepke. Whatever it was. Vatihi Esther Noses Chen. Esther would find favor in each person thought, it's one of my people. It's for my people. I have a question over here. One thing we know, she wasn't black. Because how could somebody say it's one of my people? Right? So if she wasn't, how did the African say it's one of my people? Yes, so maybe you'd say, yes. Yeah, so she had that kind of look. Yeah, okay. Vatilokach Esther el Hamelech Achashverosh el Beis Melchuso. She was taken to the king, to his palace, b'chodesh v'asiri. Hu chodesh teves. Why does the Megillah specifically say the month? It was the 10th month, teves. Yerach shanena guf miguf. It's already cold. Because Hashem worked it out. It should be that month that he should have the greatest degree of physical pleasure from her. Because it's a little chilly. You know, those days they didn't have in-house heating. So therefore, that he should have maximum pleasure from her, that he should be attached her to such a degree. V'yeva melech esestim kol anoshim, v'tisachen v'ches leforov mikol hapsulos. You hear this? I mean, factually, Esther was a married woman, correct? But he found more favor, he had more pleasure from than even from the virgins. Omer bikish litam tam besulatom. Terms of the sexual act, whatever level of pleasure he wanted to have, he had from her. If he wanted to have the experience of having relations with a basula, he had it. Tam be'ula tom, which was a miracle. That was part of the miracle. V'yasam el chmishte godol. He made a great banquet. Oven mishti of Alugalia. She made him a party. What did he give the party in her honor? Because he wanted to actually to encourage her to reveal who she was. She wouldn't. Doli karga. He suspended taxes in her honor. She still wouldn't reveal it. Shoda pardashni v'logali. She sent gifts to all the ministers in the provinces that she's sending the gift. V'logali, she wouldn't. Then all of a sudden it says, V'kovetz psul l'shem. All of a sudden there was a new second gathering of virgins to the palace. What's this all about? He has a queen already. What is he doing this? Ozo shokolates in Mordechai. Mordechai was the wise Jew. He says, how do I loosen her tongue? Yeah? A woman is jealous of the thigh of a fellow woman. When a woman knows that her husband has her eye on another woman, that loosens her tongue. You know, bring other women into the palace, so she'll start wagging. She'll start talking. But of course, Mordechai knew who Esther was, right? After everything's said and done, she still would not reveal. She would not reveal her pedigree. What does it mean? Lo yigra mitzadik einov. It will not be detracted from the tzadik einov. What are his eyes? Meaning, what is that einov? Hashem looks at the behavior of tzaddikim, and because of that, he does not withhold reward from the descendants. Because of the tznius, the modesty which Rachel had. She married that Shaul should be her descendant. What was Shaul's only Avera? That he didn't destroy Amalek. And the merit of the tznius that Shaul had, Esther. Esther Mordechai were descendants. You see something very interesting, right? Who corrected the sin of, what was Shaul's sin? He didn't kill Agag. Amalek. Who corrected it? Because of his tznius, he merited to have Esther. And what was the destruction of Amalek? Purim. So it comes out, they corrected where he failed. And it all came because of its tznius. What tznius? You have to know what is it? Tznius. Yaakov the Rochel ki achi ovihu. Originally, when he met Rochel, remember he watered her flocks. The stone was on the well. He removed it. So she said to him, Yaakov says to Rochel, "I'm your father's brother." He was a nephew, right? Rivka and Lavan were brother and sister. He's the son of the sister of her father. She's not his brother. El Omalo, minciously, he said to her immediately, "I want you to marry me." She says, "Definitely, I will marry you." Miu Abba Ramohu. He says, "My father is a deceitful charlatan. You're not going to be able to outwit him." Omar lo. So he said to her, Aleph, Omar lo. If he's a deceiver, I could outpace him in deception. I'm not worried. One second. Omra lei misharlet stukel skuye. The Ramusa, is a tzaddik permitted to behave in a deceitful way? Right? It's not right. Omar le'ein quotes and supposed to tell him, Im nova tetabor, vim ikesh tetapel. How does he explain when nover with a...
With someone who's trying to deceive him, to be deceitful with him.
No.
Otherwise, put it right.
No, what, how do you translate the pasuk? Nover tetabor. No, ikesh means a twisted person.
With a pure person, you act purely, and
Yeah.
with a crooked person, you act more crookedly.
I mean, tetapel means you topple him. You topple him. Okay? Omar lo Myram Yuso. He says, tell me, how will he deceive me? And she knew her father well. Omra le isli achsa d'kshishim. I have an older sister. V'lo minsiv mikame, who will not allow that I should be married before she's married. Therefore, whatever you're going to do, you're not going to outwit him. So what did he do? Mosla simonim. He gave her certain signs, indicators. What were the signs? He said what? You know what they were? Hafroshas chala, nida, and hadlokas aner. That's what. Those were the key. Those were the code words. So under the chuppah, when he would come to her, those were the words she was supposed to say. Then he would know immediately. So, this is something Lavan wouldn't know. So he'll know whether it's Rachel Leah. Kimoto Leile. When it came to the night of the chuppah, Omro hashte michsvach soy. My sister's going to be publicly embarrassed because there's going to be a whole scene under the chuppah. Masretinu Nelo. Rachel went and gave the code words to her sister. So until the morning, Yaakov thought that this was Leah, Rachel. What do you mean? In the morning was Leah, until now it wasn't Leah, right? Because of the code words which Rachel had given to Leah, he didn't know who it was until the morning. Now the question, why is that sneus? Why is that called modesty? What is a modest person? Everybody has an ego. But a modest person, he's able to contain himself and has control and doesn't do what he feels he wants to do. The person does what's right. The person is truly modest. Right? It says, even when you do a mitzvah, you should do it in a more concealed way. Why? Because why am I doing the mitzvah? Is it for myself? I'm doing the mitzvah because God wants me to do the mitzvah. There's no, I'm not just getting mileage on it. Unless it has to do with Hashem. Same thing. Why did she want to marry Yaakov? Why? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. But what about if my sister's going to be embarrassed? What's the right thing to do? If I could prevent her level of embarrassment, I'm going to prevent it. At all costs. All costs. Therefore, she gave over the code words. Does he explain what the modesty was? Why is that classified as modesty? You'd say she's a giving person, she's a good person, but it's classified as tznius.
That's the meaning, apparently the meaning of tznius, modesty, in the context of this Gemara, is the capacity to keep private matters concealed and not reveal them to others.
Okay. Okay. Lefichol zochsov v'yotzav mimenu shol. Matznius soyi b'shol. What modesty we from by shol? Listen to the chsiv. V'zdvar ha-lucha lo higid asher omer Shmuel. Yeah? Again, it was a secret. He was able to keep something on a confidential level. V'zdvar ha-malka lo higid lo. Asher omer Shmuel. Zoch v'yotzav min Esther. V'omar Reb Lozik shakadosh baruch hu posek gedul lo-odom posek lebonov nevonov atzov kol doros. Hashem decides somebody's going to have greatness. It's not only for himself, it's for his children, grandchildren, until the end of generations. Shenema vayushivim lanetzach vayigbehu. He put him in place forever, then he elevated him. Vim higas dato. What about if the person gets carried away with it? He becomes haughty because of it. HaKadosh Baruch Mashpila. Hashem takes him down. Shenemar vim asurim bezikim. So he explains it. Rashi. There you go. Samchi kroi v'yeshivim lanetzach vayigbehu vim asurim bezikim. Magbin as bod lidei anius the yisurim. Zikim means you be asurim. You become bound with zikim. That means with suffering. How does he give you the suffering? He takes you down. Vesmamar melech est osa. What does this mean? She carried out the word, the dictate of Mordechai. Es mamar Mordechai Esther osa. Omer Rabbi Yirmiyah Samara dam nido lechachomim. You hear this? She was a menstruant, right? She menstruated. She was an old woman, so she would show the blood to the chachomim to rule whether she's a nido or not. Kashahoisa ba'amona ito. No. Every shade of blood is not nida. It has to be a certain hue of red. Kashahoisa ba'omna ito. She was faithful with him. What does that mean? Omar Rabba bar Lemo Mishmei the Rab Shoiso Meres Becheko Shachashverish. You have to understand how she worked this out, just logistically. She'd actually would have relations with Achashverosh, the Tovelis V'Yosheves Becheko Shem Mordechai, and then she'd have relations with her husband Mordechai. You hear this? How she worked it, I don't know. The people always with her. It was a secret that who she was. What did she have? Mordechai would visit her and he'd have relations with her. Evidently, she was able to work it out. We'll see in a moment, because until a certain point, she wasn't an adulteress. Whatever happened to her, it was considered a rape. Achashverosh was a rapist, so therefore she's not an adulteress. She was still permitted to her husband. We'll see in a moment. At one point, she went willingly, because Mordechai says you have to go. This is at the very end, right? This is when before Haman was killed, was hanged. So then she initiated it. Then she became an adulteress. At that point onward, Mordechai was not permitted to her any longer, because then she assumed the status of an adulteress. But until that point, she was considered a rape victim, therefore Mordechai was still permitted to her. Right? Mordechai was sitting at the gate of the king, and Bix and the Sherish, which were the two gatekeepers, they became enraged at the king. You know what happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he actually orchestrated this. That the master caused this, Lasus Ritzon Tzaddik, for the sake of doing the will of the Tzaddik. What's the story? Manu Yosef. And who's the Tzaddik? Yosef. Shenemar. V'shami tonu nar ivri. What happened? Later, who revealed to Paro that Yosef had the power to interpret dreams? The Saramashkim. Right. Now, how did the Saramashkim end up in prison? HaKadosh Baruch Hu orchestrated that there was a fly found in the wine. So therefore, because Hashem wanted to do for the Tzaddik, therefore, he caused the master to be enraged at the subject. Avodim al adoneim lasus nesl tzadik. The master becomes enraged at the person that the miracle should be done for the tzaddik. And who's that? Mordechai. It became known to Mordechai. The plot that they wanted to assassinate Achashverosh. What was the story? They were two Tarsoim. Rashi says the name of wherever they were from, Carthage, or I don't know. Does he say what Tarsoim is? Rashi says Shem Mokom, some location. They were foreigners. And they spoke the language of their land, so nobody understood the language. He says, since this guy became the king, why? Because Rashi says because he was so indulged in sexual behavior, he was always thirsty. So all night, they had to stay up all night. They couldn't sleep on the job. They had to bring him wine to drink a whole night. Yeah, in between affairs. So what happened? Bo v'nato as a seifel. Eris b'seifel. Kadesh yomas, we'll poison his drink. And his goblet of wine will poison and lend it. We're able to get a night's sleep. This is before sleeping pills. They could have spiked him with sleeping pills. They wanted to be final, okay? They didn't know that Mordechai was one of the people who sat in the cut chamber of stone. He was one member of the Sanhedrin Gadol in Yerushalayim. He actually was proficient in 70 languages. Oh, and so he understood what they were saying. So he overheard the assassination plot. So one said to the other, but you realize we're on different watches. If I'm going to go get the poison, so who's going to cover me? That means he's going to have to do a double stint. His friend, I'll cover for you. That day I'll put in a double shift. My shift and your shift. It was sought out, and they found, sure enough, what was? That he was absent from his shift. Evidently they had a punch clock in those days too. All right, so they knew they had to sign in and sign out. Omar Rav, what's achar? After this, what happened? Omar Rava, first Hashem, whenever he punishes Klal Yisrael, he always sets the remedy before the makkah, before the problem. Hashem doesn't smite us, punish us, unless He's created the refuah, the antidote before. It's interesting. It's always bothered me. In the bracha Yotzav Ores, what do we say? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is He's borei refuos. Should say Osei refuos. He creates healing. What do He creates? right? It should be Oseh. Oseh Gedolos. God does great things. Creation was the beginning of creation. Seems to be when it comes to healing, it's a creation process. The Gemara uses the same term here. And of course, Bach Yisrael imki borei lem refuah tchila. Borei, he creates the remedy before. It seems to be that each individual needs something very unique. I mean, the way I understand it, okay? We say refuah nefesh refuah guf. What is the source of the physical ailment? It's a illness in the spirituality of the person. Each soul is a different makeup. I mean, we're all Jews, but each neshama, in terms of its failing, it's unique to itself. So if it's unique for itself, it needs a healing which is specific for it. That's borei. You know, there's not one antibiotic covers it all. It's something, it's tailor-made, it's a remedy specifically for that person. Therefore, it's borei. Yeah, but this has to do like with the DNA or the stem cell of the person himself. Yeah, but that's how specific it has to be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the borei refuah. That since it emanates from the neshama, and the neshama is unique, two neshamas are not identically alike. Therefore, it's borei refuahs. Right. Shneimar. First, I have to heal Yisrael. Then I will reveal the sin of Ephraim. He doesn't allow the prosecutor to stop prosecuting, to punish us, unless first the refuah is already in place. When it comes to the nations of the world, it's not the case. First he smites them. First he smote them, and then he healed them. This pasuk is in where? In Tes. Yeah. Rashi says this pasuk is by who was it? By Paro, but it was not the Mitzrayim of Egypt. It was later. The Marshals, I forgot which one of the Paros. Vayivis bein of the Shloch Yad b'Mordechai levado. He was so what's it called? Repulsed and revolted by he wanted to harm him. Initially, he only wanted to kill Mordechai. Then says, the people of Mordechai. All the rabbis. Get rid of all these rabbis. Each one of them is this arrogant, whatever it is. Then eventually, it was festering, the hate, eventually all Jews. Vahibul poor. He actually cast a lot, which is the lottery. The lot came out. What month will I destroy the Jews? The month of Adar. Somach Simcha Gedola. It was a great joy for him. Why? Oman Novel Bepur B'Yerech Shemei. He did his homework. He was a historian. Haman Yimach Shmoi. Right? Because it was the month that Moshe Rabbeinu died. V'lo Yodea Shebeshiva B'Adar. V'lo Yodea. Where is it? There, Ba'adur Mes B'Shiv Ba'adur Nola. He was born on the same day that he died. So this was the greatest month of the year for the Jews. What did he say? Yesh Am Echad. He said, there's one nation. Nobody could speak Lashon Hara like Haman. He was able to, it was laser Lashon Hara. He says, let us go annihilate them. He says, I'm afraid of the Jewish God. Yeah, this is what Achashverosh says. I'm afraid of them. Belshazzar was killed. He could do to me what he did to Belshazzar, to the previous enemies of the Jews. They already abandoned mitzvahs. God doesn't care about them. They left the mitzvahs. What about the rabbis? They're still keeping the mitzvahs. So maybe the God will take it out on me because they're rabbis. No, they want people who are responsible for one another. So the rabbis, even though they do the mitzvahs, they're guilty. They have the liability of the people. He says, a person is a king. A king's power is his people. So he's going to have a certain region where you're going to have it's going to be vacant. There's going to be like a bald spot in one area, Chas v'Sholom. It's going to be Yudin reign. There's going to be Yudin reign, right? So he says, no, Mefuzorim heim, Bein Amim. The Jews are intermingled all over. We won't even miss them. Okay? Shem Toma is Hanoim Minayu. Maybe you say, but we have benefits from him. You understand? When did Spain go down, seep to be a world power? If the Spanish Inquisition was over. The Jews leave France. France is history. History forever. So he says, "Mefurod kiprei dezu she'eino osa peiros." It's like a mule. A mule is sterile, right? Did you ever know a mule was sterile? Albert, you learned in medical school, right? A mule is sterile. Okay, that's a crossbreed between a donkey and a horse. You know, that was one of the riddles. The Chachmei Utuna, we had them on Bechoros, asked one of the rabbis, a placenta of a mule. If you salt it, what is it? That was one of the riddles. There's no placenta of a mule because it's sterile. that was the okay. Minayu. Maybe you won't say it, but there is a certain province which is Jewish province. They're among all the provinces. The Dosein shown us, these Jews, they have what's his name? Their laws are different than ours. They don't need our foods. They won't marry our daughters. They won't allow us to marry their daughters. They don't follow the responsibilities of the king. The mafkil kulushato. Every day they have another excuse why they're exempt from conscription. Right? Shato. Shabbos, all of a sudden it's Saturday, it's Shabbos, we don't work on Shabbos. Pesach Hayom, it's Pesach, we can't work. Every other day we ask them to participate, they have another reason they can't. It's not worthwhile for the king even to keep these people. They eat and they drink and they disgrace the king. Why? I feel no if a fly falls into one of the cups of wine, what do? They take the wine, they take the fly and they drink the wine. If the king, the master, touches their wine, he didn't say they pour it out. He slams it into the ground, like with disgust. The Enosh Shosei won't drink it. So he's disgracing the king. If the king finds favor, let's destroy them. And I'll even give you 10,000 bars of silver, bullion. Hashem foresaw that ultimately Haman is going to pay this 10,000, these talents of silver. Therefore, he preempted him that we have a schus of silver which nullifies his silver. We have shkolim, what is a shekel of silver, right? So Hashem gave us the mitzvah of shkolim to preempt and to nullify the effect of his. When do we announce that people start? We need the shkolim for Rosh Chodesh Nisan, right? So when did he start announcing? That's what we read parshs shkolim. He says, consider it like I gave you the money, and you do with them what you want. Okay? And the Gemara explains on Yudal what kind of anti-Semite Achashverosh was. He was no better than Haman himself. Remember it said,